Well, in almost all discourse today in the nation is the issue of insecurity. Many will say Nigeria has never seen it this bad in most recent time, especially with almost 500 Nigerians kidnapped or adopted in a space of 4 days. But the question still remains, how did we get here and what needs to be done to deal with the issue? Well, anyway, as much as you ponder that in mind and find solutions to it, I want to quickly welcome you to another lovely time on television. It's Viewpoint and it's a brand new week. My name still remains Mike Egobadia.
With all of those kidnapping issues, insecurity going on in the country, people still have the mind to fake their own kidnap. Well, this will be coming up later today on Trending, and you do not want to miss that. Well, let me quickly welcome you to Viewpoint on Atlantic TV. I am Mercy Erabo, and you know Viewpoint is all about the dailies, straight into the dialogue, the news comes around, and of course Trending. Well, we need to go on this quick break, and once we return, the dailies will be next.
Yes, it's almost like it is every weekday. Viewpoint, you do know we always like starting with the papers to see what they have, especially coming out from a very busy weekend. Well, busy it is, all the papers we're going to have today. We're having 6 for review. We have The Punch, The Guardian, The Vanguard, The Daily Trust. Definitely we have in the Nigerian Tribune, as much as we'll be wrapping things up with The Nation. But I'd love to always start with The Punch, and let's see what The Punch has as a major one on its front page. And on Punch this morning, the leading story reads, Mass Adoption Crisis, Tinubu pulls 100,000 policemen from very important persons. Rider to follow, President Lee Service Chief, Defense Headquarters review operations as 50 Niger pupils and 38 Kwara church goers freed. But anyway, free more of that story on page 5 of the Punch newspaper. The state pile up 1.06 trillion debt despite record allocation. And many will say, wow, it's indeed a very disturbing one. But get more of it on page 31. Audit uncovers over 61 billion naira payment breaches in the NNPCL. And you do know, well, the story doesn't end there, but I'll tell you to read more of that story up on page 34. But anyway, more of taking a center, major part of the paper this morning. It's more of the Net Oil Limited in receivership. Receiver/manager press release, and you can take a full dose of that right there on the front page of the Punch. Well, anyway, that's the much you can take from the Punch newspaper.
Let's check out the stories making it to the headlines of The Guardian. On The Guardian this morning, the lead story reads, International pressure mounts on federal government as states close schools over kidnappings. That's a major one on page 6 of The Guardian newspaper. Still on The Guardian, court warns First Bank of Nigeria, Access, Zenith Bank, MDs against the fine order in Nest Oil's alleged 1 billion naira death suit. And more of that story is on page 14 of The Guardian newspaper. And still talking about the Nest Oil Limited in receivership, this is talking about the receiver/manager's pressure release. Well, that's all we're taking this morning on The Guardian newspaper.
Well, anyway, Daily Trust is the next paper for us to go through. And let's see what Daily Trust has, a major one on its front page as we review all the papers this morning. And, well, okay, yeah. And let's see if we leave Daily Trust and quickly take more papers right there.
Yeah, let's quickly go to The Nation.
Nation it is.
Yes, on The Nation this morning, the lead story, 38 Kwara abductees rescued. Wow, this is where we have to shout hallelujah. Yeah, 51 Niger pupils return home. I won't relent, says Tinubu. That's a major story newspaper. Still on the Nation this morning, alleged $1 billion debt claim. First Bank, Access Bank, Zenith Bank, MDs risks imprisonment over disobedience of court order. You can read more of that on page 3 of the Nation newspaper. And still talking about the Nest Oil Limited in receivership, receiver/managers press release. That's what is taking the center stage on all of the dailies this morning. Well, that's all we're taking this morning on the Nation newspaper. Let's quickly see what the Nigerian Tribune has for us this morning. On the Nigerian Tribune this morning, 38 worshippers rescued in Kwara. 50 students escaped from kidnappers in Niger. Tinubu orders withdrawal of police from VIPs. Well, more of that story is on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. Alleged $1 billion Nest Oil debt. First Bank, Access Bank, Zenith Bank, and this risks imprisonment over disobedience of court order. You can read more of that on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. We are still talking about what is taking the center stage on all the dailies this morning, still talking about the Nest Oil Limited in receivership of the receiver/manager release. Well, that's all we're taking this morning on the Nigerian Tribune.
The Vanguard will be the next paper for us to quickly look at as we wrap up the papers this morning. And on the Vanguard this morning, the leading story reads, 50 students adopted from Niger Catholic School has escaped. And this according to the Christian Association of Nigeria, as 38 kidnapped victims from Kwara Church regained freedom. Governor Abdulrazak commended President Tinubu's hands-on approach. And I'll just tell you to approach more of that story on page 5. Still talking about insecurity, Oyedi Porto Christians take charge before genocide descends into anarchy. But anyway, take more of that story on page 8. Tinubu orders withdrawal of police officers guarding VIPs, OK's recruitment of about 30,000 officers. And you can offer more of that story on page 10 of the Vanguard. But anyway, just like in other papers, okay, let's see if we take one major one at the very top of the Vanguard this morning. And it's like alleged $1 billion net oil debt claim. First Bank, Access Bank, Zenith Bank MDs risks imprisonment over alleged disobedience of court order. And I'll tell you, or rather, I'll plead with you, not order you to read that story up on page 8. But still talking about that very story, it's also more of an editorial. And you can get that as Nest Oil Limited receiver managers press release. All of that is taking center stage on almost all the dailies this morning. And it looks as if, well, the quarrel still remains. But court order has been given, and let's see how that plays out. But anyway, that's the much you can take from the dailies this morning. And you do know, we always implore you that if you find any truly enjoyable to read up, well, just do yourself a favor and read them up. Remember, all is taken, or rather what seems to be playing out on the dailies this morning is all centered on the issue of insecurity, the heightened tension that seem to hover around this very nation. And many Nigerians are already calling for more to be done, especially knowing that the international community seems to be looking us with keen eyes, trying to see what this administration will do about the growing insecurity. But what we on Dialogue will do, will take it as a major one, as the Nest right here on Viewpoint. We'll be looking critically at the heightened insecurity in the country and maybe find solutions in dealing with them. Let's go on a break, and Dialogue will come next right here on Viewpoint on Atlantic TV.
All right, my name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst of one of Nigerian comedy.
All right, guys, back again. Yes, boss. My name is Osh, baby.
Yemi Alade.
Yeah, what up, people? It's your boy Victor Edi.
Girl Niniola.
My name is my wife, and just celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV. We wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different. Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different. Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Every year, millions of lives are stolen, dreams cut short, futures traded in silence. Human trafficking is a modern-day slavery. It hides in plain sight, tearing families apart and trapping the vulnerable in fear. But together we can end it. Together we can protect, we can rescue, and we can give hope. Say no to exploitation. Say no to slavery. Say no to human trafficking. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday, Sunday, convened an extended security meeting with heads of defense and intelligence agencies to review ongoing operation and stabilize areas affected by recent adoptions. The meeting, which took place at the State House, included the Chief of Defense Staff, the Chief of Armed Staff, the Inspector General of Police, and the Director General of the Department of State Service. Now, according to sources close to the presidency and made known to us on Dialogue on Atlantic TV, the crucial section focused on analyzing the latest feed reports and issuing directives to ensure rapid, coordinated actions across security formation. It was also learned that during the meeting, President Tinubu reaffirmed his administration commitment to protecting lives and properties of Nigeria, warning that those responsible for the recent unrest will seriously be dealt with accordingly. This is coming at a time when over 500 Nigerians have been kidnapped within a period of 5 days, from Maga in Kebbi to Papiri in Niger and to Ruku in Kwara State. The list seems to be endless, making this period one that has gotten almost all Nigerians talking and worried. But what will be the latest approach that this administration needs to take to end this? And honestly, how did we get here? Well, this and more as it concerns the raging insecurity in Nigeria is what this edition of Dialogue is all centered on. And we're talking about Nigeria heightened insecurity. That's what we're taking as a critical look on our dialogue today. We're talking about Nigerians' heightened insecurity and trying to see where and how we got to where we are. But anyway, that's what we're having as a major one, and you would understand that in all honesty, that seems to be on the front burner of almost all discourse, irrespective of the platform, be it print, social media, or mainstream media. The insecurity in Nigeria seems to be taking center stage, and hence the need for us to talk about it. But to help us join in the discussion is no other person, but I love calling him an elder statesman and someone that is truly disturbed and worried about the growing insecurity. And I'm talking of no other person but Chief Olori Magege. Good morning and welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning, and good morning, viewers and listeners.
Well, anyway, I will not be surprised if you are not smiling. I will understand why. And well, anyways, it's something that is really putting many Nigerians on the edge. I would rather regard, or this will be regarded as one of the toughest and saddest time as it concerns the wave of coordinated and daring attacks from these bandits. And as we speak now, both of us, as we are talking now, we have every credible information that we have almost 300 children, some as little as 6 years, still in the hands of these dear devil bandits, which is indeed a sad one. I know nobody can make sense out of what seems to be happening, but I would just rather want to start to get your reaction to these senseless and mindless adoptions.
If we are going to look far for the source of these problems,
yes,
we are deceiving ourselves. This thing has been on since Buhari's time. 8 years, bandits were entrenched. They were entrenched for 8 good years. Bandits were entrenched. If a palm tree was planted 8 years ago, by now we would be harvesting it. That's to tell you what 8 years mean. To have left bandits to solidify, to get entrenched in our forest, pampering them. Buhari's regime planted this seed. It's time to say, to call spade a spade. Buhari himself said that if he did not win, baboons would be soaked in blood. That was when the bandits were imported into the country. There are no facts about that. And they were pampered. They were promised land. And the waterways bill that was brought 2 times by the Minister of Water Resources.
Ruga.
Ruga is one of them. Places to settle the bandits as part of the plan, as part of the reward plan. They were pampered. They were paid 100 billion paid to Miyetti Allah. Miyetti Allah was another government by itself during Buhari's time. Now, the chicken has come home to roost. Many northerners, northern elites, are not happy with Tinubu. There's no gainsaying about that. They aren't happy with Tinubu at all. They're not just happy with the power being in the south. So, their militia, which is the bandits, because we must separate the bandits from Boko Haram and ISWAP. Boko Haram, ISWAP are ideologically driven. Bandits are not. Yeah. Bandits are the militia of the northern political elites. So,
has been alleged.
Has been alleged. So now it's time to destabilize 2027.
You're making it have a political coordination.
It is.
Is that what you're saying?
It is. It is. El-Rufai had consistently made insecurity an issue in recent time. But if that Tinubu would be assessed from the way he handled the insecurity in the country, and this insecurity is strictly, mainly a northern issue. So if you destabilize, make the state ungovernable, ridicule the government, then of course there will be no voting for Tinubu. That is their thinking.
So that you feel this
if you destabilize, if you make the state ungovernable, and the easiest way to make state ungovernable is to create insecurity. So that's why you see these waves of kidnapping of students, because that's what will make news. They started with Chibok girls with Jonathan. That's how Chibok girls were kidnapped. But think about, how do you kidnap 300 students? How do you move them?
Yeah, because that's where my next question really, we're trying to get our head around what seems to be happening. Because why is it that there's this quick attack on soft targets? I'd rather call them soft targets. The children and churches, they seem to be soft targets.
They are very, very soft.
So my question, yes, you're bringing a political coronation to all of this. And yes, I will agree, but there's still a question that needs to be answered. Before all of this started, we had foreign powers, especially the United States of America. I'm still with your political correlation of it, but I want us to also just walk away a bit from there and look at other issues also as it concerns this insecurity. We'll come back to the political undertone. Now, many Nigerians are saying, immediately after the United States in particular came out to say, well, it looks as if we'll go gun blazing into the issue of genocide on the Christians. We had an optic of this. Some are now alleging, is it a message to Western powers that, oh, we don't care about what you say? Or do you feel all of this is basically just for the ransom? Let's understand, because immediately all of these heated arguments came out from the US. We're having now large numbers of constant wave of attacks of these bandits. So let's understand, are they doing for the ransom, or is the message to the Western powers? Let's also understand that.
When you read the Bible, you get chapter 1 and many verses.
Yes.
So banditry is chapter. Ransom is verse. Political end is verse. Military, foreign intervention is another verse. Now, if foreign interest come in to intervene,
yes,
that puts a lot of credibility question on the government. What kind of government that cannot sustain, that cannot survive, cannot sustain on its own. A militia, an ordinary, are we Afghanistan? Are we Afghanistan? So if there is foreign intervention,
it's already discrediting this accusation.
And we don't know what that will be, with the impact of that on the government itself. Can the government survive it? Would there be a government change?
On account of it?
On account of this. That is one angle. Then there is the ransom aspect. These people are looking for arms. When was a truckload of arms intercepted by the police? Just a week or two ago. So they are buying arms. And they are also sustaining themselves. Don't forget this. That banditry is itself is a full-time business. Yes. It's a political arm, it's a militia, it's also a business. So all of this encompasses what we are talking about. That we allow the bandits to get established. They are now entrenched. And they are becoming a match, if not a better match, for the Nigerian military. And that's the issue.
Yeah, sorry. Now, yeah, you just raised something I also want to ask, because this question is begging for answers. And many Nigerians are already asking the question. Why is it that it looks as if our military is so helpless against this? Yeah, it's a question. Many Nigerians are trying to make sense out of it. And the reason I'm asking this, now let's look at another major one. Just on Thursday, the Minister of Defense gave order for all those soldiers that were guarding the school in Maga to be transferred directly to Abuja for a pure reason that 30 minutes before the adoption, they withdrew this personnel. So he has told them to go to Abuja to answer questions why they were withdrawn. So Nigerians are now trying to make sense out of all of this. Why is it that our military is sounding helpless? This is a military that went to Liberia and brought peace there, that went to Sierra Leone and brought peace there. We are being recognized as having the strongest ground force in Africa at the moment, but yet we seem helpless to some untrained, uneducated, unscrupulous bandits. Nigerians are asking the questions.
Liberia is just a little bigger than Delta State. So when you go down there and you conquer the rebels, that's not big feat. Sierra Leone is just a little bigger than Edo State. So when you send soldiers down there to do some work, nothing to applaud there. The Nigerian military has been so compromised through the period of Buhari. The stories are no longer new about saboteurs.
Yes, like the brigadier.
Yes, like the brigadier, Uber. That was ambushed. And then you look at let's analyze the events of Uber, Brigadier Uber, and then you see if the Nigerian army itself even is ready. A brigadier general went on the operation. They were overwhelmed and they ran to the bush. He was communicating with WhatsApp. In this era, a brigadier is communicating with his base with WhatsApp. WhatsApp may be encrypted, but who said? Was it not WhatsApp that the Israelis used to kill so many Iranians during the Israeli-Iranian war? How are you telling me that the Nigerian army does not have a signal corps that would sufficiently provide signal capability to a military formation that is going out to war? And then the leader of the team has to use WhatsApp, text messages to communicate. That's number one. Number two, the man was calling for help. Did the rescue come? Rescue is supposed to be part of the operations when you go to war. Anything can happen. How do we get our men back safely? Helicopters couldn't fly. Nothing moved. It's shameful. It's shameful. The man was alone in the bush for hours. No rescue. No rescue until he was captured. There are stories that he's still alive and all that. Hey, if the man is alive, bring him on television, let's see him. There's no story of the man is alive, and if he's in the hospital bed, let's see him. That is the issue that worries me. Is the Nigerian military ready? Are they sufficiently equipped? Is there morality? Is the morale high? The morale of the soldiers high? Are they well taken care of? Where are the billions and billions and trillions that have been pumped into them? What is it being used for? You see, our army has been compromised to a very large extent, compromised. And an army that is fighting itself, within itself, can't go anywhere. Because you don't trust yourself, you don't trust your partner. The man with whom you are going to war, your comrade, you can't trust him. You don't know where he is. You don't know what side he is. So how are you going to fight a war when the men in the battlefront are being betrayed by intelligence men who are leaking information, leaking intelligence information to enemies? How do you fight the war? That is another issue. The Minister of Defense, Bello Watawale, what is his technical skill in military warfare? He's a teacher. He has no qualification whatsoever in military affairs. He cannot separate maybe like me. They say AK-45, AK-47. I'm sure I'm better than him. I mean, I can see AK-47 and say this is AK-47, AK-50, this is AK-50. But will Matawale be able to do that? And you don't go into a highly specialized ministry like defense and you learn on the job. You can't learn on the job. You see, what we need are men like General Theophilus Danjuma as Minister of Defense. He won't go there to learn whether we need AK-47 or drones. He already knows. He has spent all his life in the military, so there's nothing you are going to teach him. So he's going there properly equipped to deal with the situation. Matawale couldn't solve the problem of banditry in Zamfara State. He couldn't. He could not. He started negotiating with bandits in his state. He was frolicking with bandits in the government house in Zamfara State. So now you make such a man the Minister for Defense. What does he know about logistics? Military logistics. What does he know about strategies? What does he know about tactics? The Secretary of War in the US was a career soldier. He fought in Afghanistan.
Pete Hedges.
Yes. So we are not, when you look at us, we are not just serious. We are not serious. And not a horse. When you have children you send to school, being woken up in the middle of the night, put in trailers, and taken away. How do you, even cows, 300 cows, how do you herd them in one direction? Not talk of 300 weeping children. Well, they will be weeping. They will be hysterical. How do you move that number without anybody discovering? How? We have a long way to go.
Well, anyways, that's where we are going, and we're looking at the present optic of violence that seem to have bedeviled Nigeria in recent time. And looking at it critically from all angles, you will really understand why Chief Olori Magege seems to be angered. Well, anyways, I've not seen him in this mood in a very, very, very long time. But no surprise. But anyway, no surprise we're talking about it. It seems to be on burner of our discourse in the country in particular. We're talking about the increase in insecurity that seems to have bedeviled us as a nation. Where did we get it wrong? How did we get it wrong? What needs to be done to indeed address this very problem? As I speak, we know about 51 students have escaped from the bandits right there in Niger State, and they have returned back to their families. But with latest report reaching Dialogue just this morning, an accredited report, they still have about 258 students and staff still in the hands of those dreaded bandits. We're still talking about the issue of the 25 girls. We're still hoping and praying that they return. But all good news, the 38 worshippers in the church in Uruku, we're talking about Kwara State, have been released. Well, many are saying ransom were paid. Others are saying it was a rescue from the Department of State Service. Well, once we get credible intel as to concern how that came about, we'll definitely let you know on Dialogue. But let's return back to you, Chief Olori Magege. And well, we're still talking about the children because that's where we hold dear in our hearts. No parent would want his or her child to be in the hands of such senseless persons around this very time, knowing that the children will be hungry and they are sleeping in the open, and only God knows the kind of reptiles that will be there among them, and maybe some might even be sick because of the cold, Harmattan cold in the north as we speak. But let's look at a major one. We got information that the Ministry of Education on Friday issued a directive that the 47 federal colleges should immediately be closed. And we also got intel that some states have followed suit on that directive. States like Katsina, Niger, Plateau, and Benue,
Kebbi,
Kwara. No, Kebbi are still open, and Sokoto, they are still open, but they are getting assurance of better security. But some of all of these schools have been closed. So my question, do you feel this is the right direction, that we are closing schools, or schools are being closed? Because as it stands, in the last 10 years, we've had about 2,000 children being kidnapped. So is this the right way to go, closing down the schools?
It's an acknowledgement of failure. We failed as a state. We failed in all ramifications. That our poor, innocent children are now chilled. They are not being used as chilled. Human shield for ransom payment. We have failed woefully. I remember coming here in the last time. I said the situation that we are in now, if it were imposed on us by foreign power, we should go to war. We should go to war. Where children can no longer go to school, schools have been closed. So we have just admitted that we can no longer provide security. Go to your parents and let them take care of you. Let them provide security for you. That's all. It's that bad. And what is so annoying is this, that we are not seeing any action by the military. Credible action. Notable action. Something that could give you some sense of succor. Some sense of relief that something is being done. Nothing is being done. Call meetings into Aso Rock, State House. What does that mean? Look, technology has so advanced that searching for this, knowing where these children are, should not take more than 3 hours.
No, but credible intel tells us that they know where they are. But going there to rescue them, knowing that they are human shield, is the difficult approach that is holding the military back.
Because, why is it so? Because any strategy discussed will be linked to the bandits. will be linked to the bandits. It gets. Can you imagine this happening in the United States of America?
No, not there.
Can you imagine this happening even in Egypt? Can you imagine this thing happening in Israel? Can you imagine this thing happening in South Africa? Where we are talking now, 250 children are somewhere, maybe they've not eaten for the past 2 days. Who knows?
Okay.
Look, if we know where they are, and we are afraid to go there because we don't want to suffer any casualty on our part or on collateral damages on the part of the children, or failure of strategy. It's all failure of strategy. The 53 church members that were released or rescued, how many bandits were killed in that operation?
That's why I said
how many were arrested in that operation?
That's why I said the information is still a bit sketchy. We are trying to find out
and
what really happened.
Okay, we're trying to find out all the rescued victims all these years. How many bandits were killed? Look at those directors.
So are you saying maybe ransoms were paid? That's why we got them released.
Look, I don't want to speculate.
Okay, well, let's leave.
But ransom is always going with it. Look at those directors. Move from Kogi through the four directors of Ministry of Defense. Move from Kogi to Kaduna. Nobody saw them. There was no interception. And we have the DSS. We have military intelligence. We have police intelligence from Kogi through the forest into Gatuna forest where they were released. And it's frightening to me, it's very frightening to me that the security agencies don't have a map of our forest. They don't even know where these forests are. And that makes me to be very much afraid. It means that if a foreign power comes into Nigeria, they will simply decimate us. Because we are not equipped with the basic knowledge of our terrains. We don't know.
Okay, what I do know is that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Thursday directed the Minister of Defense, undermining you seem to have your reserve about him, to immediately go to Kebbi State. Now, after he did that, there was a growing call from Nigerians to also direct the service chiefs, all of them, to the areas of special concern. Do you see these helping out to deal with this issue? Because many say, why are the service chiefs in Abuja, well relaxed in beautiful AC offices when they need to be at the theater of war, on the battlefield? Should that be the way to go to help us deal with it? Because you are still talking about intelligence. If we have high-ranking military personnel on the field, credible information will get to them. Should that be the way to go?
You move Matawale to Kebbi. What difference does it make? Is he going to the battle into the forest? Cosmetics. Oh, God. Just optics, cosmetic, pure nonsense. You mean if America comes to Nigeria, Trump will come?
No.
When America invaded Afghanistan, did the then president go there?
No.
When they invaded Iraq, did they go there?
No.
Cosmetics.
So we don't need the service chiefs there?
We don't need them there. We look, in this era, in this modern era, in a very well-trained military setup, the commander is in the head office and is getting real-time information online as the soldiers are marching on the war. He's hearing the cracks of every gun fired right in his office. Because he is over there to coordinate It's not sleeping. There are million things going on at the same time to support the soldiers in the war front. They need logistics. They need to be fed.
Real-time information.
Yes, real-time information. So somebody has to be there at headquarters where the facilities are for thorough coordination. So you don't move them to, okay, they go to Kebbi today. If there is a fire in Zamfara, they fly down there to Zamfara again. If there is fire in Katsina, they come back.
Because Nigerians feel they seem not to understand the heat of the moment. That is why we've not had any major successes as it concerns this. I could still remember a Chadian general once said that the reason they were able to hit the bandits hard in Chad was that they were more battleground ready. But when you had the Nigerians, they were all in air-conditioned big cars. So should that not be the mindset now? That there's a fire on the mountain, everybody should run, 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 run.
Look, a good military is ever ready. Even the Boy Scout is ever ready. Not talk of military. If we start talking of air conditioner and all that, we are avoiding the substance. We are avoiding the issue. Uba was captured right in the war front, isn't it? The Brigadier General.
So it will not make sense we send our high-ranking.
Let them do their work, that's what I'm saying. And they can do their work from anywhere. That's the point. Let them do their work, let them do their work thoroughly. And let them do it wherever they are. Does not matter moving them.
Okay, now let's come back to another major, because we're trying to find avenues of dealing with it and looking at what the present administration is doing to resolve some of the issues.
Yeah.
Just yesterday, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said no more police officers to VIPs, pushing about the 100,000 of those police officers away from the VIP. He said the NSCDC would not take charge in protecting these very important persons. But as it stands, a pure directive that came yesterday, and with what we are monitoring on ground, on dialogue, we are getting real-time information that indeed all the major police officers are now being withdrawn from very important persons and now sending or getting directly from the headquarters. Now, sir, would that be the best way to go? Remove them from very important persons. And not only that, Mr. President also said that about 30,000 police officers would be recruited in a very short while. Is that the best way to go to deal with this raging security? Oh, I got another laugh from you, sir.
Lack of planning.
Oh, come on.
Lack of planning. Banditry didn't start with us today. Banditry has been Tinubu's problem since he came more than 2.5 years ago. So is it today that he knows that VIPs are having police protection and they need to withdraw them? The man is being overloaded. Tinubu is being overloaded. We have IGP that is not working. There must be a regular assessment of personnel need and a projection. What we are having is a knee-jerk reaction. Knee-jerk reaction. You tap somebody on the knee, and then it kicks. Are we just waking up now to know that there's a shortfall in manpower needs of the police, in manpower need of the army? You are making emergency recruitment. What does that mean? Are you just knowing now? We don't have a plan. You see, we need cool-headedness, not a knee-jerk reaction to situations. Tomorrow we'll now wake up and say that the men and women of Nigerian Civil Defense, we will withdraw them again and move them to battle. These are trained men. These are trained men. Let's have the same insecurity level for everybody. Every trained military person
or paramilitary
should now be in active service, not protecting anybody. not protecting anybody.
But we will not want to descend into chaos as it concerns very important persons also being...
all lives are important. All lives are important. It is the failure of this elites that has led to this problem that we're having. It's not the poor man in Agbaru, the poor farmer in Agbaru, or the poor farmer in Esako. I think you are from Esako.
I'm not from Esako.
That caused this problem. It is the problem of elites. And I'm sure Jonathan is laughing, enjoying himself. That I do body, I'm sorry.
Why would you say so?
Why not? This was their plan, to make his government a failure, total failure. And he did boomerang, and they won the election. And they didn't know how to handle the men they imported, the thugs they imported. They pampered them and pampered them and pampered them, and being those bandits, those Fulani bandits, they have no home to go to.
But that's just pure allegation.
That's not an allegation. Why was Miyetti Allah given 100 billion naira? What service did Miyetti Allah render to Buhari that earned them 100 billion naira? You see, if we are truly going to solve this banditry thing once and for all, I'm not talking of Boko Haram and ISWAP. Yeah. That's a different ball game.
Yeah. Ideology is their problem.
Yes, that's a different ball game, a different strategy. We are talking of these marauding bandits who have no hope, they have no country. They are just soldiers of fortune. That's what they are. They were imported into the country and they are wreaking havoc. El-Rufai keep talking rubbish. Was he not the one who started paying bandits when he was governor of Kaduna State? I wonder what is Bayo and Nanuga doing? Why are they not taking on El-Rufai? Did he pay bandits in Kaduna? Did he use bandits to disorganize southern Kaduna? And now he's talking. Insecurity shall be used to measure the performance of...
Yeah, because, I want us to now go there because if you still remember Christopher Musa, the former CDS,
yes,
in August he came out to say, well, Nigerians are just screaming their lungs to the high heavens because of an optic of violence then, that all was having a political coloration.
Yes.
So are you saying he was right in every way? Because when he said that, he was almost buried. People started castigating him and saying he was finding an avenue to attack the opposition.
Abacha said that any insurrection that lasts more than 2 days has government connection.
So do you feel this recent political optic is all political related?
Oh, it's all political. It's all political.
To discredit this administration?
To discredit Tinubu. And we are not seeing it, we in the South are not seeing it as it is. And that is the tragedy of it all. Anytime a Southerner is president of Nigeria, we have problems. Problems of banditry, problem of insurgency. It started with Jonathan. And we clap, we laugh, we enjoyed it. Now Tinubu is there. Let's forget that Tinubu was part of the harassment of Jonathan. Let's look at the problem before us now and understand what it is. And we must rally around Tinubu for our sake as Southerners. We must. Because if we allow Tinubu to be pushed out and bandits entrenched, then Nigeria is conquered. Nigeria is conquered. So we must rally around Tinubu and give him every support that he needs, including our lives. Because those children in the forest could be our children. Those worshippers killed in Kwara State could be us. Those farmers being killed everywhere by herders We have
12
experienced
cement
it.
farmers were adopted in Borno yesterday, according to our security reports.
We could be the victims. So we should not just see this issue as their matter. No, it's our matter. We are concerned. Those of us here in the studio, we are concerned. This door will open now, and bandits will come and take us away.
Well, God forbid.
God forbid, but yes, we don't wish it. We don't wish it, but it's possible. It's very possible. Bandits walk into a church and kill people and carry worshippers away.
So do you feel it's coming south? Because that was in Kwara. Kogi was not a hotbed before, but it's now a hotbed of bandits attack. Now it's pushing into Kwara.
They are moving. They are moving. Their eyes are on southwest. From southwest, probably will come to south-south. From south-south, it will be difficult for them to get eastern states. Because east is ready. The eastern states are ready. IPOP had sensitized them. Eastern Security Network, they've all sensitized them.
We will not like to talk about them because they are still there.
Yes, yes, I agree. But
so let's leave it
the
at that.
people are sensitized enough to know. And they've experienced it. Unlike us in the south-south, where we are still ajabotas. So, what is the solution?
Yes, that's where I was going to now. What should we do?
If we create state police, let every state handle its own security, a step forward. But I will even advocate a state army.
Would that not increase militias?
No. A state army under
the federal army.
Under the federal control. But let the state handle
its own internal security.
Internal security. That's the bottom line. Handle your
own. Would it not make more sense rather than having state-wise when it has total control of the chief executive? Would it not make sense to make it more regional? Something like the Omoteku, something like the South-South Security Network. So would it not be better regional than state?
The bottom line is this: decentralize the military.
Okay.
Decentralize the police.
Okay, decentralized security.
Yeah, decentralized security. Decentralize it. Because now we don't know who is who. We don't know who is who. We don't know who is our friend anymore. We don't know who is our enemy.
By the way, I know you are a friend.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The military has been so compromised. So compromised. So, first and foremost, Tinubu should purge the military. Clean it up. When they were recruiting, when they were absorbing repentant Boko Haram, they didn't know what they were doing.
But that was under Buhari's time.
Yes, what we are harvesting now is what Buhari planted. What Buhari planted. Buhari has his own mindset. Why was he apologizing to Nigerians on his deathbed? So, what we are harvesting today were all planted by Buhari regime. And it's bearing fruits now. And we are suffering it. So, first and foremost, let's clean up the military. Let's have a Nigerian military. Right now, we don't know what we have. Whether it's ISWAP, whether it's Boko Haram, whether it's banditry, we do not know. There have been too many reports of compromises by our men in uniform that put at risk the lives of our own children who are in the military. And that's of concern to us. Yes, we know that when we join the military,
it's now more a federal face.
Yes. But when we go to battle, we don't want to receive bullets from the back. We want to be sure that who is by us is truly our comrade. Is truly our body. Not somebody who is relaying to the enemy our movement. So Tinubu must purge the army, the military as a whole, must purge the military, clean it up. And even if he's not able to accomplish it in the next 1 year, it does not matter. Let him start it. If he doesn't, his second tenure will be terrible. It will be very terrible. If he gets it at all. But my advocacy is, let's support Tinubu. Let's rally around him. Let's rally around him. Let's give him all the support he needs. And let's help push back this northern rhetoric that says nothing good can come from the Southern presidency. I don't want that. I don't want that. And if he is serious, let him start probing how banditry came to be in Nigeria.
And how they are strong foot.
Yes. He knows them. He knows the bandits. And we suspect so. What is DSS doing? What is military intelligence doing? What are they paid to do?
Well, anyways, we are paid to talk about this, and that's why we've been talking about it. And honestly, we've been talking for 1 hour now. And,
1 hour?
Yes. Well, time is not always a friend. Yes, we have been. And we're really totally out of time. And you've given us an idea of what you feel we need to do. And you feel starting with the military will give us an edge. But before you go, I want to ask you a quick question. Should we seek for support? Should we seek for an assistance at this moment and at this time?
The Americans will have been here yesterday. I remember I said this sometimes.
Yes, indeed.
We need support. We are overwhelmed. When schools have been closed because of insurgency.
But it should be a support and not an override. Not them taking the decision.
Then we've gone beyond giving conditions. We've gone beyond conditions. First the bomb, you talk of the yeah. We go first catch fire. If we don't have the luxury of giving conditions.
We just need help.
Yes, we need help. We could bring mercenaries in.
Yeah, just like Jonathan did.
Like Jonathan did. Foreign help can come in form of mercenaries.
Yeah.
Well-trained
military officers.
Yes. To help us. So this is a way. So it does not mean we will lose our sovereignty. Okay. No. Okay. Nobody will come in here. We are not going to be part of the United States of America. We are not going to be that.
Yeah. Okay, well anyway, what I know we are part of is telling you very big thank you. We're talking of no other person. But Chief Olori Magege talking about this passionately and telling all Nigerians that we should rally around Mr. President and see how he will succeed on this, because it's not his fight alone, but ours to fight.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for that advice. And it's more like a wrap on the show today. You would always understand that when it comes to critical issues, we do not shy away from talking about it on Dialogue, because while we talk and dialogue, all we are really after is finding a path and a way forward. And that path and way forward is for me to tell you to please drop your comments, contributions on our different social media platforms. They're already there on your screen. Do same, and let's get your reaction as it concerns this topic and every other topic we're talking about. And also, if you have any major ideas that will indeed help to solve or change the narrative, now will be a better time to do so. But anyway, it's always interactive and interesting, and we always would say we appreciate all those comments that had come on account of different episodes we've had. We truly appreciate them, and please keep them coming. Share, like, and also be a part of the discourse on Dialogue. I still remain Mike Egobadia. News will come around the hour, but remember, trending will definitely be starting off the new week edition, and it's something that you love to be a part of. Let's go on that break.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
The worry child. I want to firstly celebrate God Almighty. Please, can we jam our hands together? For the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, the one that kept you and I alive. And I equally want to say thank you for Coral Care Foundation. Please, let's celebrate them. Then most importantly, celebrate yourself. If you don't celebrate yourself, nobody will celebrate you. It's a privilege being here. I'm here by the grace of God and by His mercies. Now, I want to say this to us. As children, we are supposed to be world changers. We are supposed to change our world. But there's a great saying by a great man. He says, if you want to change the world, the first thing you do is make up your bed when you wake up in the morning. Now, I want to ask us, how many of us made our bed when we woke up this morning? I doubt. You want to change the world, the first thing you do is change your bed when you wake up in the morning. So say to yourself, I will make my bed tomorrow when I wake up. I like inspiring stories, just like the one our sister, Ogene Tejiri, rightly gave. Please, let's celebrate grace upon our life. God is taking you higher. Beyond limits, unlocking the potentials of the worry child. While I was growing up, my mom and my dad, they were from the Anglican. And in the Anglican, they do what is called confirmation. I don't know how many of us know about that. When you give birth to a child, you do what is called confirmation. And during the confirmation, you give the child a name. And so the name they chose for me was John. And I loved it. I said, John, wow, that's beloved of Jesus. We're very dear to Jesus. But I think somewhere along the line, my mom looked at the Bible again and she saw that John's head was cut off. She saw John the Baptist, not John the Beloved. And she said, no, I don't want my son's head to be cut off. And so she changed the name at the dying minute from John to Moses. And one thing she forgot was that Moses did not enter the promised land. I will enter my promised land. Say to yourself, I will enter promised land. Yes, it's by grace. As the name Moses implied, if you study your Bible very well, you will see that Moses died and almost did not enter heaven because Satan stood to accuse him. I died once, I didn't make it to heaven. Jesus gave me a second chance. And that second chance is why I'm here to tell you. And what you need to make it, God will give to you today in the name of Jesus. Unlocking the potentials of the worry child. Inspiring growth, excellence, and purpose. Introduction, overview of worries, unique identity, and youth culture. The challenges, hidden strengths, and worry child end. Beyond limit, breaking mental, social, and economic barriers. Quickly, next slide. Now, you can see the overview of the worries, identity, and youth. A worry, the city is in Niger Delta region of Nigeria and has a unique identity, vibrant youth, and we have what is called their cultural heritage, language, unique fashion, just like what we saw our wonderful mommy and sister rightly displayed. You can imagine. In fact, you are going around the world. Challenges and opportunity overall. Worry's unique identity and youth culture are shaped by its history, culture, and resilience. The city's young people are driving forces behind its growth, creativity, and progress. And I tell you, you are going to turn the world around. Next slide, please. Now, you can see there's what is called the spirit of resilience and creativity in the Warri child. High exposure to street realities and survival instincts. These have made a lot of children from Warri to become noted. There's something I used to say. They say Warri they know they carry. I say, but why they know they carry first? It's not good to say you know they carry last, but you must carry first. Say, I will carry first. Potentials for innovation, leadership, and transformation. Next slide quickly. The current challenges, poor educational infrastructure, which is changing with the current things the government is giving. In fact, I want to salute Coral Care Foundation again, and I know they are being supported by the government. Please, let's clap together. Let's clap our hands together for what they are doing. And we know that the narratives will change. Peer pressure and